Hello and welcome back to WION World is One. I'm Kanishka Sarkar and this is Speed News. Let's take a look at all the stories that are making headlines at this hour. The Board of Peace for Gaza has announced that Hamas has agreed to an actionable plan for surrendering its weapons, which will be followed by Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. Hamas says a national committee will oversee the storage of its weapons while mediators will monitor Israel's compliance with the agreement. The Board of Peace says the focus now shifts to implementing the next phases of the Gaza ceasefire as Egypt prepares to host talks with US, Qatari and Turkish mediators. Trump described Hamas's complete disarmament as a key step toward establishing a new Palestinian administration in Gaza. Israeli media reports say that Israel has not accepted the current Hamas disarmament plan, insisting that there will be no Israeli withdrawal from the Yellow Line before Gaza Strip is fully demilitarized.
Step aside!
More than 50 activists were arrested outside Westminster's Magistrates' Court in London during a protest challenging the use of counter-terrorism laws against pro-Palestinian campaigners. Demonstrators, many wearing red or sitting peacefully outside the court, said that the action was aimed at defending freedom of expression and human rights.
Saving life is not terrorism. Saving life is not terrorism. Saving life is not terrorism.
Protest titled "Saving Lives is Not Terrorism" also criticized the UK government's position on the conflict in Gaza. Authorities have not provided further details on the arrests. The US Senate has rejected another war powers resolution aimed at restricting President Donald Trump's authority to continue military operations against Iran without congressional approval. The measure failed by a vote of 49 to 50, marking another unsuccessful attempt by lawmakers to limit US military involvement in the conflict. The vote comes amid growing regional tensions and concerns over further escalation. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has warned of serious regional escalation after a drone strike targeted two vessels at the Damietta port on the Mediterranean coast. He called on Egypt, Spain, Europe and the wider international community to work together to prevent further tensions in the region. Egyptian authorities are investigating the attack on the US-owned floating storage and regasification unit, Energos Winter, and the Greek-owned LNG tanker Gaslog Salem. The Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it carried out strikes against US military facilities in Kuwait and Jordan in retaliation for large-scale US attack on Iran's Qashm Island earlier that day. According to the IRGC, the retaliatory strike on the US base in Kuwait destroyed two drone hangars and a fuel depot used by aircraft and military helicopters. The IRGC also claimed that another retaliatory strike on a US military facility in Jordan resulted in the destruction of 3 F-35 fighter jets. Saudi Arabia and 13 other countries have announced a new maritime defense coalition aimed at protecting freedom of navigation through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Riyadh says the multinational maritime defense alliance will strengthen cooperation to safeguard international trade and energy routes through the strategic waterways. The initiative comes amid rising regional tensions, including attacks on shipping routes by Iran-backed Houthi fighters in Yemen. A Russian attack on a food business in Ukraine's Pavlohrad killed at least 3 people and injured at least 10, according to regional officials. And the strikes triggered a fire at the site, with security footage showing at the moment of the explosion. Ukrainian authorities said emergency services responded to the damage as investigations into the attack continue. Hundreds of migrants reached Spain's North African enclave of Ceuta on Thursday after crossing from Morocco by swimming through coastal waters and breaching border barriers. Spanish authorities deployed military personnel, police and maritime patrol units alongside the coastline and roads as the arrivals entered the city. Ceuta and Melilla, Spain's 2 territories in north of Africa, remain key entry points for migrants attempting to reach the European Union. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has called for Spain to be suspended from the European Union's Schengen travel zone after thousands of migrants reached the Spanish enclave of Ceuta from Morocco. Meloni said Italy was prepared to support exceptional measures, including suspending Spain's Schengen participation, describing the scenes in Ceuta as shocking. Spain says at least 9 people died trying to swim to the enclave. Madrid has rejected the Italian criticism, accusing Rome of using immigration for political purposes and calling for European solidarity rather than political rhetoric. Venezuelan authorities have begun demolishing buildings damaged by last month's deadly earthquakes in La Guaira. Controlled explosions were used to bring down the first of dozens of unstable structures as residents urged officials to ensure no victims remain trapped beneath the rubble before further demolitions. The disaster killed thousands, injured many more, and left more than 1,000 buildings destroyed or damaged. Chile has restored consular relations with Venezuela, marking a new stage in ties between the 2 South American countries after a diplomatic break. Chilean President Jose Antonio Cast said that both governments are prepared to work together on shared challenges, including security, migration, and economic development. The move comes after the 2 nations suspended consular relations in early 2025 and diplomatic tensions. Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel has defended the country's planned economic reforms, saying that they are a sovereign choice and not a response to pressure from the United States. Addressing the National Assembly, Díaz-Canel said that Cuba would allow greater private participation in some sectors while protecting state control over healthcare, education, science, and other strategic services. He rejected fears of large-scale privatization, saying that the reforms were aimed at addressing economic challenges without adopting what he called predatory capitalism. He also accused U.S. of threatening Cuba, but said that Havana remained open to resolving differences through dialogue. Colombia's president-elect Abelardo de la Espriella has given guerrilla groups less than a week to surrender before he takes office on August 7th. Addressing security concerns, he warned armed factions operating the country that they would face a strong response if they refused to submit to the law. He said that there would be no further false peace processes and vowed to back security forces in restoring order. His remarks come ahead of his inauguration, with security expected to be a key focus of his administration. Rescue operations are underway in southern Italian city of Messina after a 3-story building collapse, 7 people are reported missing and 3 others have been injured, including 1 person in serious condition, according to local authorities. Firefighters are searching through the rubble as officials work to determine the cause of the collapse. Messina Mayor said that emergency crews are focused on locating the missing people and investigating the circumstances behind the incident. Chile and South Korea have signed a cooperation agreement to expand collaboration in the critical mineral sector, focusing on strategic resources including copper and lithium. Chilean President Jose Antonio Cast described bilateral relations between the two countries as being in an exemplary period. The agreement aims to strengthen trade, investment and supply chain cooperation as global demand grows for key minerals used in advanced industries. Anti-immigration protesters marched in South Africa's Cape Town, calling for a halt to the processing of foreign visas until millions of undocumented nationals receive official identity documents. Demonstrators said the government should prioritize registering citizens without proper documentation before approving further foreign applications. The protest highlights ongoing tensions over immigration, identity, and access to public resources in South Africa. Liberian authorities have destroyed around 4.2 metric tons of cocaine seized in the country's largest ever drug bust. The drugs, valued at an estimated $336 million, were burned on the outskirts of Monrovia after being presented as evidence in court. The seizure has implicated senior police officials, with several officers charged or under investigation over alleged links to the shipment. ChatGPT and Roblox could soon face stricter rules in the European Union. The European Commission said that both the platforms have reported user numbers above the threshold set under the Digital Services Act. Officials said that they could be designated as very large online platforms sooner or later. If that happens, both companies will have to follow stricter rules on content moderation, risk management, and user safety. They'll also be required to take greater responsibility for illegal content and be more transparent about how their platforms operate. Alphabet-owned cybersecurity firm Wiz has discovered a major security flaw in Microsoft's Azure Cosmos DB Cloud database service. The company said the now-patched vulnerability could have allowed hackers to remotely access thousands of cloud customers. Cosmos DB is widely used to store data for chatbots, web applications, online services, and Microsoft products, including Teams and Copilot. Microsoft said it has fixed the issue in coordination with Wiz and found no evidence that any customers were affected. Amazon-owned Zoox has received US approval to commercially deploy its steering wheel-free robo-taxis. The approval allows Zoox to operate up to 2,500 robo-taxis a year for the next 2 years. The vehicles have no steering wheel or pedals and are designed to specifically for autonomous ride-hailing. The US Auto Safety Agency said Zoox's vehicles meet safety requirements but will still face strict reporting rules on crashes and other incidents. It can now charge passengers for rides subject to state and local approvals as it competes with Tesla and Alphabet's Waymo in the growing robotaxi market. Google will introduce its new age check system on the Play Store worldwide by the end of 2026. This feature will help app makers check a user's age without asking for an ID card or selfie. It will work with Google's Family Link app, where parents can set their child's age so only suitable apps and content are shown. Google is expanding the feature as more countries ask app stores to do more to protect children online. LinkedIn has introduced a new feature that allows users to report posts that they believe are low-quality AI-generated content or AI slop. The company says the tool will help improve its systems to identify and reduce AI-generated posts in users' feeds. LinkedIn is also removing its AI-powered Enhance Your Post Writing tool and replacing it with a simple proofreading feature in order to help users keep their own writing style. The platform says it is also blocking hundreds of thousands of automated comments every day to reduce spam and inauthentic content. On to business updates now. Asian markets staged a strong rebound after a week of steep losses led by a sharp recovery in South Korean chip stocks. SK Hynix surged 20% after its chairman bought around $3 million worth of shares, a move that is seen as a vote of confidence in the sector. South Korea's Kospi jumped 13% at the open, while Japan's Nikkei also climbed more than 5% as technology stocks recovered, helping ease concerns over a broader AI-driven sell-off. The gains reflect renewed investor optimism after recent volatility in global semiconductor and tech markets. Apple has reported its strongest June quarter on record, beating Wall Street estimates on the back of robust iPhone, Mac, and services growth. Revenue rose 16%, supported by a strong rebound in China and solid global demand across all regions. Profit also climbed sharply, reflecting broad-based strength in its product lineup. However, investors were disappointed by a weaker-than-expected outlook for the current quarter, with Apple citing supply constraints despite strong demand. The cautious guidance weighed on shares in after-hours trading. The results also marked Tim Cook's final earnings report as CEO ahead of his transition to executive chairman in September. Microsoft has delivered a major boost to investor confidence after reporting strong earnings and a better-than-expected outlook for its Azure cloud business. Shares surged sharply, driving the company to its biggest one-day increase in market value on record, adding about $450 billion in market capitalization. Investors reacted positively to signs that Microsoft's heavy investment in artificial intelligence are starting to pay off, with double-digit growth in its cloud and AI services, helping fuel optimism about future earnings momentum. Amazon is riding the artificial intelligence wave, posting stronger than expected second quarter results as cloud and AI businesses surge. Revenue crossed $200 billion, with AWS sales jumping 37%. The company is also seeing triple-digit growth in some AI divisions, underscoring the strong demand for its services. And at the same time, Amazon is ramping up investment, raising its 2026 spending forecast as it pours more money into data centers, chips, and computing infrastructure. Investors have responded positively, rewarding the company's aggressive AI-driven growth strategy. On to some sports-related updates now. Eddie Howe has parted ways with Newcastle United after 5 years at St James Park. Howe's abrupt departure comes less than a month ahead of the new Premier League season. Newcastle United are set to replace him with Matthias Yaisel of Ali Ali. Howe helped Newcastle to their first major title in 70 years with the 2025 Carabao Cup. As per reports, the separation was amicable as Eddie wants to take a break from football. All three Indians have made the cut for the final showdown of the men's javelin throw at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. India's golden boy Neeraj Chopra qualified fifth with a best throw of 79.61 meters. Chopra returned to the Commonwealth Games 8 years after his gold at the Gold Coast event. Rohit Yadav and Yashveer Singh were the other two Indians to qualify. A total of 12 athletes have qualified for the final, which is set to take place on Friday. European football's governing body, UEFA, says that it could boycott the World Cup if FIFA moves ahead with its private investment-backed commercial subsidiary. FIFA has announced the proposed entity would manage major events including the World Cup and Club World Cup. The move has triggered concerns from UEFA over control, governance and the future direction of global football. India has added 2 more medals at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, taking its overall tally to 17. Weightlifter Lovepreet Singh secured a silver medal, while discus thrower Seema Kaliramna claimed bronze. The latest victories strengthen India's performance at the Games, with athletes continuing to compete across multiple disciplines. On to updates from the world of entertainment now. Sean Diddy Combs' release date has been changed to January 24th, 2028 after originally being sentenced to 50 months with a release date of April 15th, 2028. This week it was reported that Combs was placed in solitary confinement following a fight with a fellow inmate. Combs is serving his sentence at a low-security federal prison in Fortix, New Jersey. His 7-week trial last year in Manhattan federal court centered on drug-fueled and days-long sexual performances, sometimes called freak-offs, between 2 former girlfriends of Combs and male sex workers. The trailer for the film adaptation of Tommy Adeyemi's best-selling novel, The Children of Blood and Bone, launched this week. However, Adeyemi said that she will not see the film. In fact, in a video post on social media, the author called it the worst thing she ever had to live through. Despite her role as co-writer and executive producer, she said, and I quote her here, "I never want to hear about this project again. I don't have anything to say about the people who made it. I do not care anymore. I'm trying to move on. This video might make it worse, but I don't know how it can be any worse." Unquote. Adeyemi is credited as co-writer and executive producer. Children of Blood and Bone is scheduled to begin its global theatrical release from January 14th, 2027. The movie features Viola Davis, Cynthia Erivo, Amanda Sternberg, Regina King and Damson Idris. The original production of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child celebrated its 10th anniversary in London since its official premiere in 2016. The play has welcomed over 2.5 million audience members, including more than 300,000 first-time theatre-goers. Directed by John Tiffany and based on an original story by J.K. Rowling, the landmark production holds the record as the longest-running play in modern West End history, to be performed as a 2-part theatrical experience. The highly anticipated Clueless sequel series has officially been greenlit, with Alicia Silverstone set to reprise her iconic role as Cher Horowitz. The show has received a 6-episode order and is slated to begin production in Los Angeles in 2027. According to sources, the production has submitted paperwork with the California Film Commission to receive state tax subsidies. The project will pick up 30 years after the events of the original 1995 cult classic.